All right, morning once again. Fine. See, last session we discussed that if how to use the limit clause, and further with the limit clause, we also have discussed about fields all function. Open the Salesforce inspector. So we have seen certain queries where we can make a use of fields all function. A fields function typically also is the property inside that. You can have all. You can also have custom. If you just wanted to see the custom fields, or else if you wanted to see only the standard fields of a particular object, then you can go with standard. These all are the property of function field, and this function we can use inside a query. But then whenever you are using a function, it must have limit. So there is a dependency of executing this function, that whenever if you are trying to include this function in your SQL query, it must always be backed up with the limit clause. All right, so that's all like is what we already have studied. Now let me take this discussion further, and let's understand what does it means by all rows. What does it means by all rows? Anyways, I'll show you something. For example, there's one more function called as count. Count. Right? There's one more function called as count. So count typically would give how many records are there inside the object. So if I would be executing this, select count, and because see it's a function, and I told you every function, every method has always this opening and a closing brackets, right? So if you would use this select count from the count, you have seen that it has, I mean, although the data was not exported, but at least it has given us, it has written us that this object account contains how much of the record, how many records. So we can now see that it's having 138 records. All right. So there's one more function that you should be aware of, and that is count. Try to include them the notes, because I don't think every time I'm going same thing. So I would be limit clause, fields function, and count function. Include them inside notes, because I'm not sure for the next verse I would same thing, same manner. Anyways, so there's one more function called as count, and count would typically return you if you just wanted to see how many records an object would have, an object contains, so you can make a use of the count function. All right, now let's come to today's discussion, that is what is the purpose of fields all. What is the purpose of fields all? All rows, sorry. What is the purpose of all rows clause? Let me try to show you something. All right. So I'm selecting few of the fields. Select, let's say ID, name, rating, maybe the value of industry, and let's say annual revenue. Let's say phone. Let's say fax. Let's say active status. So I'm selecting this all from account, right? Now, what happens when I fire this query? What happens when I fire this query? I can see 138 records have been exported, have been fetched, have been returned from this query. So we can easily understand that the object account typically contains 138 records that I can see. I can see the here also the count is 138, right? 138. Now, let me show you one more field, which actually is a standard field. There's a field called as is delete. Is delete. And what is the significance of that field? Let me try to show you that as well. So every object, not just with account, every object have this field. I have told you that whenever you create an object, There are few standard fields which are automatically always created inside that, right? There are few of the standard fields that are automatically created. Now, can any one of you please answer me at least five of them? Because I mean, there are more than five, but at least I have told you there are five standard fields that automatically get created whenever you
Sir,
create them. Yeah,
name, ID, owner, created by and last modified by.
very good. Snehal, excellent. So there are five fields. At least we know that five of them are automatically created. ID, name, owner created by, last modified by. But then there are few more fields which we have not talked about. We haven't talked about, and maybe like today I'm telling you about one field. Maybe in some sort of discussion we could have the discussions on others as well, right? That there's a field you know about created by, but there is also a field created by date. There's a field called as last modified by. I mean, these field would always remember created by and last modified by. They would always remember a reference to user, name of a user. If you see the user interface, internally it would always contain the user ID 005 something something something. So accordingly, there are not just five fields. There are not just five fields which are created. Actually, there are more than that. But because that doesn't requires during the discussion, we have not talked about that. So gradually, sometime a discussion, a type of discussion would come when we could talk about them. So yes, there are so many of the standard fields and which are present in every object, which are present in every object. Though it's a standard, though it's a custom. All right. Similarly, there's a field called as is deleted. This one is deleted, and it is present in every object. What is the significance of this field? Let's try to understand. I would export the data once again. I'll execute this query once again. So you would see that these are the records, and these records, the value of is deleted particularly is false for all of them, for all 138 records. For all 138 records, right? The value of is deleted is false. A little, I guess little more, but you have already make an initial assumption about this, that what is the purpose of this field. So basically is deleted would show to us that whether the record is present or it's being deleted. All right. Let me try to show you something. For example, if I would open any of the record, for example, if I'm opening this record, one of the account record, and I'm trying to delete this, let me try it. Let me see whether it doesn't. It should not have any cases associated. We have studied this. If it would have any cases associated to it, you can't delete, because I can see this record doesn't have any case. So now I have deleted that record. I have deleted. So if I would go to all accounts once again, I can see one record has been deleted. Previously it was 138. Now this is 137. And even though over here, like you can see, there was 138 record. If you would execute this query once again, you're going to see 137. 137 records. All right. So this actually means whenever you fire a query, it would normally fetch the data, normally fetch only those data, to normally fetch only those records out of the object which are not deleted, which are not deleted. Achha, by the way, tell me that record goes to which place? The record which we have deleted, tell me that record goes to which place? Yes, come on. Tell me that record goes to which place, that I have deleted one record. Where it is?
Recycle bin.
Recycle. Yes. Any another opinion apart from this recycle bin? Any another opinion apart from recycle bin? No? All right. No problem into this. No problem. You're saying to me recycle bin, I'm absolutely okay with that. Now let's talk about one important thing. And that only a developer knows. I know, because you just have learning this for the first time. have answered me that the record which we have deleted goes to recycle. I have no problem. But from today onward, after learning this, you are not going to say the same thing. All right. See. So normally, whenever an query is executed, it would always pick up those records which are not deleted. Which are not deleted. Let's say what happens when I would execute it with all rows. I'm not sure whether Salesforce Inspector would execute this or not. Otherwise, I'm going to build up a program for this. Anyways, yes, Salesforce Inspector does not have this facility. Let me take you one of the program. I'll show you the same thing with the help of the program. So let's go to the developer console for this. Let's go to the developer console for this and let's try to create a similar kind of program over there. So we already have a class called database helper, I guess. I have created one class, database helper example. Now let me create another method into this. So we already have this method. Let me try to create one method, one separate method. Public static void, a method called export all accounts, right? So I would be firing a query. I would be firing a query. This same query, right? This same query. Let me include all rows. Let me include all rows. So I would be firing a query. Select ID, name, rating, industry, these all values, and is deleted. And I wanted to fetch everything from the account. All right. I'm fetching everything from the from the account. And now, because this query would return you more than one. This query would return you more than one, right? We have studied this. We have studied this. Whenever a query would return you more than one, tell me what is the return type? What is going to be the return type of this query? Yes, come on. Where should I store all these records? Come on. What should be the return type of this? Or rather, in general, what is the return type of an SQL query? Come on. In general, what is the return type of a SQL query?
So
How to
like for sorry.
good.
So for account, we'll use account like ACC or something word. What we can say, I'm not getting the proper word for that.
See, I have discussed, there was one session where I have told you like there could be only two scenarios. When query would return you a single record or query would return you multiple records. Whenever you fire a query, there are only two possibilities. When this query is getting fired, when this query is getting executed, either it would come up with only single record of that object, or maybe it could return you multiple records from the same object. So and we have discussed like how we can handle that. So what happens when your query is returning you multiple records? How should we do that? Yes. Please go on and mute yourself and try to give the answer. Bhagyashree, you are absolutely right. So see, the default return type of every SQL query is always a list collection. Please don't forget this. Please don't. और अभी तो ज़्यादा दिन हुआ नहीं, अभी से आप लोग करो यार. So the default return type of every SQL query is always a list collection. Moreover, whenever it's returning you more than one record, you always have to collect it inside a list collection. Because every record inside this would be account record. I'm creating a list of account. List of accounts. You can give any name. I'm giving this name LST accounts. Let's say that equals to LST accounts equals to this, right? So this is what I have designed a query. Now this query is going to give me how many records. Let's see. Now what we can do is like, after firing this query, we can system.debug the number of records returned by the query equals to plus. You can simply print the size of this collection and you can lst accounts dot size. Let me remove for now. Let me remove all just for instance. We try to save up to this, and let's try to print this. Database helpers dot export. Okay, how many records? 137 records. So it is the same value what you have seen, right? There is no difference right now. At least there is no difference. All right. If I would remove this, and if I would execute this, you can see there is 137. That means only those records that are not deleted, that are not deleted, right? That are not. But what happens when you use a clause inside in your query? What happens when you use the clause all rows? All right. Let me try to save this first of all, and now see what is going to be. What is going to be? So I would be executing this code once again, and let's see what is the difference between. Now, when I go and click debug only, I can see 138. Previously, that was 137. Now it is 138. That means now understand. I'm going to show you the records as well. But first thing first. When you use all rows inside in your query, the all rows basically is a clause. The all rows basically is a clause that would even give you those records of the object which have been deleted. So if you wanted to fetch everything, even the records where those who have been deleted and they are present inside recycle bin. If a record is deleted and it goes to recycle bin, by the way, how many days it resides inside recycle bin, and after that Salesforce would perform a hard delete of that. Can any one of you please tell me how many days a record resides recycle bin and after that it would automatically gets vanished? Yes. How many days?
30.
15 actually, 15. So it remains over there for next 15 days. So whenever you execute a SQL query by using all rows would give you this facility that you could even fetch out those records. Those have been deleted and is by the way is present inside the cycle. That is not hard deleted. When a data gets hard deleted, there is no way. Remember that. There is no way in Salesforce to recover those data. Once it gets hard deleted, there's no possibility at all that you could recover that data. All right. Now let me show you something more, because I wanted to have a discussion whether it's present inside recycle bin. So I would be executing a for loop. I wanted to iterate everything, right? I wanted to iterate everything, every record I wanted to iterate from here. So I'm using an enhanced for loop. So it would going to pick up every record of the loop of the collection, because every record over there is a count record. So I would be system dot debug the account record equals to plus aces. Or I can not do it like this. This is not right. let me go in a different way. So I shall print every entity of that. So the that is going to run it, but that would the ID of the ID equals to let me print it like this, acc dot ID, and let's say system dot debug, the name equals to plus acc dot name system dot debug. I'm skipping all this rating industry annual revenue. I'm just more interested in is deleted. So I would be showing you that is deleted equals to plus acc dot is deleted. And once that one record is printed, let me try to put up a separator just to identify that this is one record and this is another. Now let me save this code and let's try to execute this once again. Okay, see, these are the number of records, right? These are the total. How many records have been fetched? Total 130. Actually, inside the object, there's only 137 records. 137. But because you have executed the query along with all rows, it has fetched 138 records. Let's see. This is the first record. This is the first record, right? Here itself, what you see the difference? See the difference between these two. These two. The value of is deleted is false. Is deleted false. Is deleted false. So is deleted typically would show you that whether the record is deleted or not. I mean, this record is not deleted. Merck Incorporation. Merck Incorporation is not deleted, and so the value of is deleted is false. The record called Suresh Kumar Sharma is not deleted, and that's why the value of is deleted is again false over. And this goes with every one of them. You know, this goes with every one of them. But there is a record called Chetna, and this record being deleted, the value of is deleted is true. The value of is deleted is true. All right. Now let's have one concrete discussion. And we would be now looking this from a developer's perspective. We would be looking this from a developer's perspective. So basically, if you delete any record from an object, if you delete any record from an object, it does not goes to any. It does not goes to any place. That record is still inside that object. Is still inside that table of database.com. This is just a representational thing. This is for the common man, the external users, the end users. Because we see from our childhood, like probably from the first time with every one of us, when you have started using computers for the very first time in your life, we have used Windows operating system, isn't it? I'm not sure about you guys, but when I was in school, and like how did I was actually, I mean, becoming a software engineer, this computer was a device which always fascinated. So I have used Windows 95 operating system, but we are like, you know, you ask this to yourself whenever for the first time you use a computer. The operating system what you use was Windows, right? And Windows show you the things like, you know, when you delete any file from anywhere, it goes to recycle. Whenever you delete anything, that goes to recycle. And because we are more habitual, if we are an end user, we always have a habit to look the things like this only. And that's why just to keep it simple, the same thing we look over here. I deleted a record that goes to recycle. And that makes my life very easy. If I would say to this, let's consider there's a common man, there's a common user, a non-technical user is with us. And if you're trying to explain the same concept to him, let's consider there is a common user. You are having an end user with you, and you are trying to explain the same concept to them. Let's say Akash is one of common end user with us. And I'm saying this to Akash. Akash, do you know, if you would delete anything in Salesforce, if there's an object, there's a record inside any object. If you would delete that, that doesn't goes to anywhere, it remains inside in the object. The only changes what does happens is like, the value of is deleted. There's a field called is deleted, and the value of is deleted becomes true. That doesn't goes to any place. Only thing is like the value becomes true. So probably Akash would not going to sleep for this night. And he would start having this nightmare. Sorry, whenever you delete anything, it doesn't goes to any place. It ideally have to go to in recycle bin. Why it is not giving? So you have given a question of life to him. And we don't wanted Akash to become person like that. All right. कोई चाहता है कि आकाश के साथ ऐसा होना चाहिए आप नहीं ना पर नहीं करना किसी के साथ किसी भले मानुष के साथ इस तरह की हरकतें नहीं करनी चाहिए so we'll not do this to any good man rather we'll just say to them yes you delete something that goes to recycle bin but internally because you are a developer you know that you should know that doesn't goes anywhere only changes is like the value of is deleted becomes true that's it and the record remains inside in the object itself for the next 15 days after 15 days there is a program you will going to learn that programs as well something called as scheduling I'm going to show you two different ways of that we are going to learn something called as asynchronous programming in the asynchronous programming I would be going to show you if you wanted something to be get checked if you wanted something to be get executed on daily basis on weekly basis on monthly basis you wanted to schedule something like you have time dependent actions you have scheduled inside when you were learning that workflows and process builder time dependent actions scheduled actions so the same for that same thing there is a programming there's a way to do that the programming so there is a program which would going to check on the daily basis it would going to check inside in every object how many records have been deleted and when it was deleted. Now, if that goes beyond 15 days, this value will be hard delete. There's only one thing in. You see, there is nothing called soft delete, hard delete. उस front end users के लिए होता है. हम बोल सकते हैं कि when you delete something that goes to recycle bin, that's a soft delete. Why? Because at any instance of time you can recover that if it is over their condition. But you have to do this within 15 days of the deletion because that it's going to be deleted automatically, hard delete. So basically, there is nothing called a soft delete, hard delete. For us, why? Because we are programmers. We are the programmers and we see the world in a different angle. We have our own specs. We have our own lenses with us, right? We have a different, we have different perspective, right? See everything. There's nothing called a soft delete, hard delete. There's only one thing, delete. Salesforce give you this opportunity when you delete something, instead of doing a hard delete that time itself, Salesforce give you this opportunity. I would let it remain inside the object for next 15 days. The only change what I'm going to commit is like, I'm going to make is deleted equals to true. अभी क्या पता तुम लोग कल चल के बोलो कि यार मैंने delete कर दिया that data was very important to me. How could I recover that? No. कोई बात नहीं घबराने की. That is there inside recycle. Just go and what to say? Just go and उसको restore कर दो. But that could be done from front end और उसको back end से भी कर सकते हो, programming से भी कर सकते हो. We're going to learn in via DML statements. From DML statement में we could make this is deleted equals to false कर देंगे आप, and that would be restored back to. So yes, there is an opportunity. Salesforce has given this opportunity, this provision that if you delete something and later on you find that that was an important entity, and I have accidentally deleted that, could I recover? You have 15 days for that. If you come to me after 15 days, I'm not responsible. I'm not going to I'm not going to process anything, maybe not going to listen to you, like what you're saying to me. No, you were having 15 days for that. So that is what internally happens, guys. When you delete something, it doesn't delete it. It doesn't delete it even for next 15 days. The only changes that happens is like, it's deleted the value. There's a field, system field, standard field is deleted, and that the value becomes true. And if you wanted to fetch, you wanted to include that as well, inside in your query, you have a provision called as orders. You have a provision. All right. So this is what is all about. You have few examples. I guess only one example. Go with them. Okay. Let me now try to take a few of them. Order by. Okay. So for this, I don't think it requires a program. I can do this over. So we have like, we have this all. As you can see, there are 137 records. But first is D, it's like, D and M and then ST. They are not being arranged properly, neither in ascending nor in descending. If you wanted particularly a data with any column, you can arrange it with like rating, industry, annual revenue. If you wanted to simply sort out your data based on any column, so for that purpose, there is a clause called as order by. After giving order by, you have to give the name of that column by which you wanted to perform the sorting. For example, I would say order by name. And now see, if I would export this, I can see it has been arranged from A to Z automatically. Actually order by name, order by is having two supporters with them. If you wanted to sort out the data in ascending order, you have to use a keyword called as ASC. But if you would give ASC, or you won't give ASC, in both of the cases, the result is same. So technically, if you wanted to sort your data in ascending manner, you wanted to sort the result, the outcomes of a query in ascending manner, you can simply give order by and just give the name of that column based on which you wanted to perform this sorting. There is no essential need of giving ASC. It's by default. I mean, there's no meaning to give that. Nobody give this, by the way. Nobody give this in the real world. Nobody give this because we know. I don't give it. In both of the cases, it's going to sort it out in the ascending manner. So why should I write this, right? But if you wanted this to get sorted in descending, it's compulsory, it's mandatory to give a keyword called DESC. Let's see what happens when you give this DESC. See, it's being now sorted from descending. DESC. So giving DSC for arranging them in descending is absolutely mandatory. If you simply wanted to sort out the data in ascending from A to Z, you can simply give order by. That's it. It's not necessary to give ASC, the keyword ASC. All right. So that was about sorting the data. You have few examples for this as well. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to discuss about for update. No, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. I don't have a class because I'm leaving out of the city early in the morning, somewhere around 5 o'clock. So I would driving that time. I could probably take your class on Sunday. Right? In that case, I'm going to announce this in your WhatsApp group. Tomorrow, by the way, you don't have a class because I'm leaving the city early in the morning. All right, that's all for today. Yes, you wanted to ask anything, guys? Any questions?
सर
Yes.
जब भी अपन अकाउंट क्रिएट करते हैं, अकाउंट रिकॉर्ड या फिर रिलेटेड रिकॉर्ड, ठीक है, जैसे हायरिंग मैनेजर से पोजीशन एंड पोजीशन से कैंडिडेट, सर पोजीशन में जो लुकअप रिलेशनशिप है और उसमें अपन ने कोई वैल्यू दिया है, तो वो अपन हार्ड कोडेड मतलब दे सकते हैं ना कि जो वैल्यू ऑलरेडी है वो ही देना पड़ेगा?
आप हायरिंग मैनेजर रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट कर रहे हैं,
राइट,
और
फिर
आप
उसके
क्या
बाद
चाहते हैं?
पोजीशन,
सी
फिर हायरिंग
उस
मैनेजर
रिकॉर्ड के के साथ
हायरिंग
एक
मैनेजर के
पोजीशन,
बाद अपन पोजीशन करेंगे रिलेटेड रिकॉर्ड, राइट?
तो आप ये चाहते हो कि हायरिंग मैनेजर जो रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट हो रहा है उसके साथ एक पोजीशन रिकॉर्ड भी क्रिएट होना चाहिए,
राइट।
लेकिन ये पोजीशन रिकॉर्ड नया नहीं होना चाहिए, रादर दैट शुड बी एन एग्जिस्टिंग, isn't it?
यस
ये बिल्कुल हो सकता है, लेकिन आपको एरर मिल रहा है शायद।
यस सर।
अब क्यों मिल रहा है उसका रीजन मैं बताता हूँ। तो एक चीज भूल गए हैं, हमने एक 1-to-1 रिलेशनशिप वन टू वन रिलेशनशिप पढ़ रहे, so that time we have created a roll up summary and a validation.
राइट।
I'm not sure about the objects that time कि हमने hiring manager, between hiring manager and position or maybe between position and candidate किया, I just exactly don't remember that, लेकिन मुझे इतना याद है कि to make that implementation ने इनमें से इन्हीं ऑब्जेक्ट्स का इस्तेमाल किया। तो अगर हमने वो 1-to-1 रिलेशनशिप एसोसिएट कर रखी है, जहाँ एग्जाम्पल आपका एग्जाम्पल कि जहाँ आपने एक रूल बना दिया है कि हर हायरिंग मैनेजर एक ही पोजीशन के साथ रिलेट हो सकता है, और आप मान के चलिए कि आप एक हायरिंग मैनेजर रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट कर रहे हो जिसको आप वही दूसरी पोजीशन जो पहले से मौजूद है वो देने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, तो जाहिर सी बात है ये आप
ओह ओके ओके।
तो
सो
या
अब
तो आप
मुझे
ऐसा करें
हाँ,
कि हायरिंग मैनेजर के साथ एक नया पोजीशन क्रिएट करें, और या फिर आप बैक ट्रैकिंग करें और जो आपने बनाया था उस रूट को आप दिया।
ओके ओके। सो
लेकिन आप
लेट्स
लोगों
ट्राई।
को जो एरर आ रहे हैं उसकी वजह ये नहीं कि हम हायरिंग मैनेजर पुराना रिकॉर्ड पिक नहीं कर सकते, उसकी रीजन ये है कि हमने खुद अपने हाथ से अपने पैर को कुल्हाड़ी मारी। ठीक है, तो हमने 1-to-1 रिलेशनशिप इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं, रीजन है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Anything else, guys? Anything else? I guess not. Then thank you so much for the time. And I'll catch you day after tomorrow. Right? I'm going to make those announcements. Please close. Please have a close watch. Thank you.